Hello BTS online friends. Over the years, Taehyung and Jungkook have experienced many moments where their relationship seemed to transcend any boundaries. In a recent live broadcast, there were several scenes that caught the public's attention. The two continued to appear together, with such natural closeness, making no attempt to hide the comfort they felt in each other's company. While they sometimes seemed to look away, perhaps because staff members were telling them to keep their distance, this time they didn't mind. They continued communicating as usual, being themselves, without pretense. Some people might prefer not to see Taehyung and Jungkook together for too long, and this is definitely not just a coincidence. Many know that when they are around each other without boundaries, their feelings are more obvious. For some, this creates a sense of discomfort, especially when that closeness contradicts the narrative the other is trying to build. Because of this, the time they can spend together in front of the camera is often limited. However, something different happened in this live broadcast. There were no masks, no forced performances, and despite the slight tension evident behind the scenes, Jungkook didn't hold back. From the start, Jungkook made it clear that Taehyung remained an important figure in his life. The small gestures he shared with him weren't just expressions of affection between co-workers, but rather special signs of attention that many fans immediately remembered. One such moment was when Jungkook touched Taehyung's neck, giving it a gentle, natural little massage, a gesture he'd used on other occasions, especially in previous broadcasts where the two interacted spontaneously. What was most interesting was that this type of gesture hadn't been seen in a while, especially since the company chose to emphasize Jungkook and Jimin's interactions more. This shift in focus was evident not only in the type of content they were posting, but also in the public events they participated in together. Many fans noticed that in various shows and programs, Jungkook was often paired with Jimin in situations that seemed forced or overly contrived. In contrast, the connection he displayed with Taehyung in this live broadcast didn't seem scripted at all. It felt honest and transparent. Jungkook didn't need words to express his true feelings. His body language speaks for itself, the way he looks at her, the way he smiles when he's with her. He doesn't seem like he's performing a task or playing a role. Instead, he seems to have found a space where he can finally relax and be himself. This naturalness is something many of Taehyung's fans have always appreciated, the fact that they don't have to pretend to demonstrate the bond that unites them. Some claim that Jungkook was forced to participate in broadcasts with Taehyung and that his behavior was simply the result of external pressure. However, this theory falls apart if we really look at his behavior. It's true that every artist has to follow certain rules and adhere to company guidelines, but there are details that are impossible to fake. Jungkook is completely genuine, without forced gestures or smiles. Everything he does in front of the camera conveys a closeness, trust, and genuine affection. Not an affection displayed for marketing purposes, rather, an affection born of shared experiences. It's also important to remember that the moments they share in public are only a small fraction of what they share. What's seen on camera is just the surface of what's truly going on behind the scenes. And while many try to downplay what's between them, the facts speak for themselves. Over time, they have demonstrated a consistent connection, a bond that persists even when they are not together on stage. The way Jungkook cares for Taehyung, and how Taehyung responds with genuine gestures in return, lets us know that their relationship is not scripted. It is also not defined by what others say or want to see. It walks its own path, sometimes invisible to everyone, but remains steadfast despite external attempts to tear it apart. In this live broadcast, they simply let the truth out in a subtle yet meaningful way. The truth is, TaeKook has gone through many stages, some more visible than others. However, there are always signs that remind us that their bond is still alive, even though they see each other less often in public now. When they do, they leave a mark that fans find hard to ignore. Beyond any theories or exaggerated stories, the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook continues to grow in a genuine way. Once again, Taehyung and Jungkook left a clear and strong impression in their last live broadcast. Their closeness, their gestures, and the connection they showed during those shared moments reminded us again why so many people believe in the unique bond that has united them for so many years. From the first second of the live broadcast, Jungkook's demeanor was different. He displayed a certain energy when interacting with Taehyung. He seemed happy, content, and expressive. There were affectionate gestures that didn't go unnoticed. Jungkook stroked Taehyung's neck a few times, we've seen this before, and placed his hand on Taehyung's stomach, and it all seemed so natural. It was as if he needed to feel a physical connection with him again after being apart for so long. What was most striking was that these gestures didn't seem contrived or overdone at all. In fact, they were all so genuine. Jungkook seemed to constantly seek Taehyung out with his eyes, approaching him on his own initiative, and remaining close to him as if he were his safe haven. Their gazes reflected love, they spoke louder than words. Some tried to deflect attention by calling it fan service, as if their closeness were simply the result of a business decision. But those who had followed Taehyung for a long time knew that these gestures were anything but staged. There was a clear difference between a staged scene and a natural dynamic. And here, in this live broadcast, it was clear that what was happening between them wasn't acting, it was a genuine expression of love, affection, and trust. Many also noticed a difference in Jungkook's behavior with the other members, especially compared to Jimin. During this live broadcast, Jungkook didn't display the same closeness with Jimin. His body language was much more reserved. Even when Jungkook was seen at the airport, he didn't interact much with Jimin. With Taehyung, however, things were different. Jungkook smiled easily, he expressed genuine happiness, and it was clear that he felt comfortable just being around him. This live broadcast was further proof of what had been demonstrated for years, that Taehyung and Jungkook had a special bond, that their time together brought a sense of peace, security, and happiness. The expressions on their faces said it all. They weren't faking it to please the audience, they were sharing a genuine moment. And that authenticity is what made so many people care about them, it's what made so many people see their story as something worth caring about and admiring.